There we go. Chap's got Michael. Michael, Michael, you messaged the page a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it, to say that
Yeah.
you wanted to do a fundraiser and help us out financially. Yeah, again, mate, massively appreciated. But we like to go, why? What's the backstory? What awareness can we get at the same time? Do you get what I mean? And we started nattering. I thought, you know what, let's pull you into a video because hopefully someone will learn from your story. Never know, mate. We might be able to change your mind right now. Right? Do you get what I mean? Introduce.
Yeah.
I'm waffling, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the whole point of this walk we're doing. Obviously, for yourself, well, fundraising for yourselves is the main part of it is to, raise that awareness that, people can talk. And, for me personally, it's, I don't want, to see any of family go through, anything like we had to go through for my brother. And, it, whatever little things we can do to help, raise that awareness and get more men to come forward and talk about their problems, the better.
Yeah. Can I just be think? Because obviously people don't. You lost your brother early January, was
Yeah,
it?
it was
Nice.
January the 17th. We lost him. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And how are you with that now?
Um, every day is different. I have some days when it's okay, completely fine. You just get on as normal. You keep busy.
Yeah.
And then you have other days where it could be like a comment or, you know, a random memory or even just music or something like that, and it'll hit you.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I, as soon as when we lost him, for me, I just went straight into busy mode. Just keep doing what I needed to do to kind of
You're a
keep
tip.
myself going.
You're a
You know,
typical bloke.
yeah. I wanted to keep busy and support my family the way I could, and I wanted to honor him,
Yeah.
and but then I also wanted to be uh, a big spokesman to say that please, just come forward and talk. It's never too late to come forward and talk about your problems. No matter how deep you may feel you are, there is help.
Yeah.
And obviously that's when I came across. I was looking up mental health charities, but mainly for men, and that's when I
Yeah.
came across your page and I read it, and I was like, wow, this is exactly what I've been looking for.
No. So that still freaks me out in a nice way when people. To me, I'm just some dickhead who just cares about other people and just wants to make a change
Yeah,
on videos on the internet. And now it's blown up to working with the NHS, ambulance services, schools.
yeah,
And that stuff's it is really nice, even though it blows my mind. But when there's people like you, like a complete stranger who's arguably gone through quite a traumatic experience and trying to turn that negative into a positive somehow,
yeah.
that's like the humbling thing. And I was going to say I can relate. I lost my brother a few years ago, so I was going to say I know how it feels. I don't through your perspective, but I know it's shit.
Yeah, yeah, it's shit. Like,
Yeah,
he was an amazing guy. He had his troubles, and I was always one to, you know, tell him to embrace him being himself.
yeah,
He was very much, like a people pleaser. Um, he always wanted to be everyone's friend, and he would do, what he needed to do to impress you. But he was focused that much on impressing other people and making other people happy. He just forgot about his own happiness.
yeah.
And he was amazing. He was a great uncle to my daughter. He was an amazing guy. You never knew I never knew how much he was suffering. And I
Yeah.
really didn't realize how much he was suffering. And now I want his name to become a beacon of hope for other men to come forward and
That,
just talk.
so I've got a habit now of pointing a pen at the camera, and I
That's
apologise.
okay.
I think it's because I'm always fiddling because I'm trying to concentrate on whatever else. But that's what I really liked about you. Put that in the message about a beacon of hope.
Yeah,
And I'm like, that's why I wanted to pull you in, because yeah, money stuff does help. Obviously, I don't want to keep repeating myself, so I apologise. But for
No,
us,
that's fine.
from this video or from your awareness or your fundraiser in your world and your awareness in your world, how many lives can be changed? How many minds can be changed? And even
Yeah,
if even if you change a couple of minds and get people to open it up, that's a whole family. And so somebody said a statistic. I did a video with Sob's charity the other day, and he said, because I don't know nothing about brother, but I'm going to, in the context of him, he said with every time one person commit, well, every time somebody dies by suicide, directly and indirectly, there's 135 people who are linked with that suicide, if that kind of makes sense. So it's just like, wow, it's
yeah,
just the knock on. I don't want to say knock on. I don't know how that sounds. Do you get what I mean?
yeah, hundred
But
percent. Yeah,
things like this is just absolutely applaud you, mate. Because it was only what 3 months ago, 3-4 months ago, and you
yeah,
you're rather than being bitter. I'm sure you've been through that. I was when Ben died, and also I've been through all of that roller coaster. And that was 13 years ago. Yeah, 13 years ago. Does it get easier? No, it doesn't.
no,
You learn to cope with it. And when you hear like that song, or when you look at remember Mr. Tumble? I don't know if you know, it's still on the TV.
yeah,
I remember once there was, it was just before WhatsApp. I remember there was a funny text message what he said or whatever. So there's little things like that where you remember, and
yeah, yeah,
rather than it being, oh, I miss him and all this kind of stuff, you start to have a laugh.
yeah. I listened back to a few of his voice notes recently, and about 90% of them are insulting me.
Yeah,
So, to listen to that just puts a smile on my face to hear him say whatever he has to say about me. I don't think most of it's not appropriate, but
yeah,
it's nice. But then at the same time, you trade anything to have that person back. But then for me now, it's like, right, okay, when he passed, the first thing I did was I was like, I promised him that not me, him, he would make a difference. He would, his his passing wouldn't be for nothing. He's going to make a difference, and I promised I'd do everything. I'll dedicate the rest of my life to helping others if I can. Or, I mean, I know I'm going through a process where I have to help myself,
yeah,
and I've got to get myself in a better state of mind and about this. But once that's done, I want to dedicate the rest of my life to helping others, because I don't want to see anyone go through this. I don't,
yeah.
no matter if I know them or I don't know them. I don't want to see any family ever go through this.
Well, there you go, mate. Exactly why even our conversations like this are just worth their weight in gold. And for us, it's not about likes. It's not about and it's not about that typical
Yeah,
charity stuff of look how awesome we are. Actually, yeah, we get told all the time like, oh, that video helped them, this saved their life, blah blah blah. But actually, that is something we applaud.
yeah,
But we're not focused on that, because we're like, actually, it's the people we're missing.
yeah,
So if we can change their minds, and there we go. This is hopefully the first part of your journey as well. You're doing something. You literally talk.
yeah,
I know it's not live, but obviously it's going to go on Facebook and all the social stuff.
yeah, yeah,
But you're literally helping change that stigma and break that stigma, isn't it?
yeah. That's he was always in this alpha mindset. Be a man, do this, do that. But then the only thing I ever pushed on him, was that you can be, if you need to be vulnerable around me and just talk, you can do that. There's
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with opening up. But I think he just had it drilled in his brain that he needed to be strong, even though he wasn't.
yeah,
And his passing came as a huge shock to a lot of us, because he was always the lively one, the fun one. Even though he was the little brother, he also took on the responsibility as the big brother sometimes,
yeah,
because of how protective he was. And I think even after his passing, I still want him to be a huge part of all our lives.
yeah,
I still want him to be relevant. I don't want his name to just fade away. You know, I want his name to be cemented as, like I said, that beacon of hope. And I
Yeah.
really want to push for that. Whether it's he saves one person's life, you know, that makes it, doesn't make it worth it. But he didn't die for nothing.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Again, I applaud it for you, especially so early on as well, or so early after, if that makes sense. You just
Yeah,
jump,
yeah,
mate, and you're going to be doing this fundraiser. But it's not just you. It's the walk, isn't it? How long's the walk? Or what? Tell us about that, mate.
yeah. So the company I work for, I work at Cheshire Oaks, McArthur Glen Cheshire Oaks, beg your pardon. So they were amazing. You know, after my brother's passing, they were absolutely amazing. They gave me all the support I needed. Um, and then we got in discussions with one of the managers who works there, because she knows how passionate I am for like doing little. We usually do like a little charity event each year.
Yeah.
So I think it was 2 years ago. You know, I did something for cancer research. Last year we were doing something, and then this year, you know, she come up to me. She's like, "Why don't we do something for your brother?" Um,
They brought it up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, I had the idea of, so I was looking for a charity to kind of get in contact with and do something on my own.
Yeah.
But then they've pulled me in and said, "Look, we want to help you. We want to give you all the support. You know, we'll send out an email to all the stores on site. We'll try and get as many people involved, you know,
Yeah.
with it, whether it be, you know, through the fundraising, which I know isn't, you know, like you said, the most important thing, but
Oh,
to spread the word."
don't get me wrong. It bloody helps. It really does.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely. And we, you know, the people that have donated so far, I've thanked each and every one of them. And you know, it means a lot, because, you know, nothing's free, obviously. But for me, this walk hopefully will just spread the message, you know, get a message out there, get that awareness out there, whether it just be locally,
Yeah.
or, you know, whether it spreads far and wide. You know, as long as it makes some sort of a difference,
Absolutely.
then that means the world to me.
What is the difference you're looking for?
For just for more men to come forward and talk about their problems, no matter how big or how little they are. You know, I've been, I'm very transparent about the problems that I've been through. I was very transparent with my brother, and I know we each go through things differently. We all different, you know, um, no depression's the same. No, exactly. Everyone goes through things differently.
Yeah.
But for me, I found my way of getting through that by talking.
Yeah.
You know, and I was always transparent with my brother about my struggles, and that his struggles are no less important than anyone else's.
Yeah.
You know, and if he needs to talk, you know, I'm always going to be there. But I kind of want to push now, you know, for more men to just open up. You
Yeah.
know, one thing I said, um, after he passed, um, we had like a little gathering for him,
Yeah.
um, a few weeks after he passed, because he's not originally from where I'm living at the moment. He's from down South Wales. So we had a little meeting, and one thing I said to we had there was the amount of people that turned up was incredible. We had like this little gathering, a few drinks in memory of him, and one we had a little point where I said a few words, and I just said, "Look, I don't care how big or little your problem is, you know, please come forward and talk. And even if you just want to talk to me."
Yeah.
And after that night, I think I had two people get in contact and just said, "Look, I'm struggling." And
Oh,
it was nice. I just wanted to hear their story. And, you know, I know at that time I probably wasn't in a good place to be helping other people, but do you know what? It helped me. It really helped me,
yeah.
because it kept me focused, and I suddenly found that I was completely passionate about this,
Yeah.
and about wanting to help. You know, I'm not qualified or anything like that, but if I can just be someone who will listen, then I'm happy to be that person.
Well, I think that's. I don't think you always need to be qualified on something. This is in the bit. The thing about the business world is what really
Yeah,
annoys me. It's like, right, okay. You, Michael, you're going on a mental health first aider course. Then there's our tick list done, and there is a need for it, but actually, it's not a tick list. Mental health isn't a tick list, and you don't need to be qualified. You don't need to be qualified to use your ears.
Yeah.
You really don't. I think that's something what really does annoy me about the whole mental health the mental health world and the charity world is actually not the charity world, just the social world. If I'm on people, is but
Yeah.
everyone thinks they need to be qualified. So it's like you don't need to be qualified to be a friend,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
you don't know, do you? You don't know, and
Yeah.
this the thing is, I think a lot of blokes, arguably not everyone. I don't want to do a sweeping statement, but a lot of blokes don't talk, especially in a straight relationship. I'm going to take some stick for this one if anyone's got this far into the video, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's in a straight relationship. Sometimes the partner just needs to be quiet. Don't give
Yeah.
input. Just listen to it. You can nag him later. My wife will wait. She really will. But at that moment, she knows if my anxiety is tripping up, or she'll know. She'll just know, and she knows the difference when to shut up and just let me talk,
Yeah.
and when she's like, right, Dan, you need to piss off. Go and stand the mountain. I go to the Peak District like wild camping every now and again. I'll go there just wild camping minus whatever in January. Absolutely love it. Phone won't work and all. Do you get what I mean? So.
Yeah. I found that like going on little walks and just in the middle of nowhere, I find myself at peace sometimes.
You,
You know,
you,
just away from the
yeah,
world, no signal, nothing. You just, you know, you're alone with your thoughts. But I find that quite therapeutic. You know, it's nice.
it's a must. You got to take time out for yourself just to
Yeah.
recharge. The thing here, it says who started a charity via social media. Turn off all that shit. Turn off the notifications and
Yeah.
just focus on what's important. And it's like you said about your brother. It's just we seem to be moving. Sorry if I don't mean that thing, but we seem to be moving where everyone wants to please everybody else
Yeah.
and not focus on ourselves. So I don't want to trigger you. I think it's just because you said it, and I know
No. No. No.
I'm quite blunt with more words sometimes, so I apologise. But it's
No.
just
No. No. It's fine. Yeah.
it
Yeah.
all need to learn just to just chill out, just stop and just refocus and just
Yeah.
recharge.
Just a reset. Just yeah.
Um, so
Yeah.
just before we draw to purely because as I got a school run and we had the
Yeah.
fashion.
Yeah. No problem. Yeah.
So just before when are you doing your fundraiser? Obviously, I do the
So
10th.
it's the 19th of July.
Yeah,
We're meeting up about 8 a.m. and then we're gonna do our walk up Snowdon. When we get up there, we're gonna like say a few words and have a toast to him and just celebrate. It's the reason I'm doing it. It's something that me and him talked about. He wanted to go on these walks and get out a bit more, and I always told him that you know if I go to a high peak or somewhere and I look down, it made me feel so much better. Just realizing how big the world is,
yeah.
and we talked about doing Snowdon before he passed. We talked about a few places, but Snowdon was something he was really keen on. This is
No,
why
no,
now I'm like, you know what, I want to do it, but then I like the fact that work have got involved and said, well, let's make it, let's make it count, let's make it something big,
yeah. Good.
and let's raise that awareness and do a fundraiser and let's really give it 100%.
Absolutely, mate. No, I'll tell you one thing. There's something on there which is a bit relatable to me. Um, when Ben was alive, I remember. I think it was Call of Duty. Remember on Call of Duty,
Yeah.
there was one of the levels where it was in Chernobyl.
Yes. Yes.
Remember, like years and years and years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember playing in with that, and we were joking, and I didn't know what it was. He was like, how do you not remember how do you not know what Chernobyl is? So it's just that serious, like, you dickhead. No, that's
Yeah.
not. We said actually one day we'll go there. Obviously, Ben died, so we never went. And actually, just 3 years ago, obviously, just before the war, I went to Ukraine and stood in the spot, and I've got a photo of the big wheel. You know the old wheel.
Wow.
And I'll tell you one thing, mate. That's the first thing. That's the first thing I did. It said hello to Ben, and I think
Yeah.
actually met me. I was just like, oh, fuck you, I've done it, mate. Fuck you. I've done it.
Yeah.
I'll do it and all that kind of stuff. And actually, do you know what? I think that was like the something healed that day. Actually, so So with you and your stuff, mate, you've got full support of Man Up, mate, because you've got a genuine story about it, and it's just let's try and change another mind, man.
Yeah.
Really as simple as that. But should we just very quickly then before we do, George? I think you've already answered it, and I don't. I feel like I'm going to stitch you up. But if somebody's watching this, they're thinking of doing something. Doesn't matter. They're in a horrid place. What would you say to do? I know it's a hard one to answer, mate, but
I would say, coming from someone who's experienced the loss of someone I, love more than the world itself. Like he wasn't my brother, he was my best friend. It leaves questions. It doesn't make things better. I mean, there is help out there. There is someone, even if it's just going to a friend, even if it's, I mean, you could just speak to a random person and just, there's someone out there who will listen eventually. There is someone out there who will listen and who will care and who will, take your problem seriously. And I think the problem with my brother, because he was so used to being the joker and the comedian, like if he did open up, no one would take him seriously. And that's one thing I always said to him, like I'll always be here to listen. Like I'm your brother, but I'm your best friend, and I'd give anything to have him back. And just think of the people that love you and the people that you love, and how much they'll miss you. And that's me being selfish. That's me being selfish because it's I want him back. I'd give anything to have him back. But I promise, there is help out there. There are people that will listen. Even me, if someone wanted to talk to me, I'd listen all day if it meant saving their lives. Doesn't matter if I know them or not. I just want to make the difference.
Good on you, mate. Absolutely good on you. And yeah, again, you've got full support of Man Up, mate. We'll help you push that the best we can. But let me hear that. Hit that record button. Bear with me 1 second, mate.
Thanks.
There we go. Let me do that. I've not really used this system that much.